Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today's a day, we're only a couple hours away from the game week 1 deadline, from the launch of FPL, and I tell you what, it feels like pre-season's absolutely flown over. But like I say, we're only a couple hours out from the deadline, so what I've got for you today is my game week 1 team. So come on, let's do it. Let's get on the road to top 10k. So on screen now, you can see the initial pre-season draft that we had. In goal, we had Jordan Pickford. In the defence, we had Trent Alexander-Arnold, Luke Shaw and Estepinian. Midfield, we had Saka, Martinelli, Rashford, Matoma and Enciso. And the front line was Gabriel Jesus and Erling Haaland. So that was a pretty template during the pre-season, but obviously things have changed a lot since then. We've analysed some games, we've had injuries, we've also had some new signings coming in. So let's see how this compares to what we've got in our game week 1 selection now. And here it is. This is the team I'm going to be starting game week 1 with. So in goal, it stays the same, Jordan Pickford. Now, I believe he's up there with top 3 4.5 million goalkeepers to start the season with. Obviously, Sean Dyche, we know he's historically a strong defensive manager, knows how to eke out those clean sheets when he needs to and grind out games. And you combine that with Jordan Pickford being a pretty decent goalkeeper, you know, he can get a lot of save points when those 0-0s come about. And also, they have some really good fixtures to start the season with. There's no really hard games in the first 4 besides the Villa away game. So I believe there is a decent amount of potential for some clean sheets and some bonus points there. So the first name in defence is one that we weren't really considering in pre-season, and that was Gabriel. And that was purely because I was dead set on going on triple Arsenal attack and fully capitalising on those easy opening fixtures that they've got. But obviously, Jesus, he's injured, so we've now had to put him well and truly in the bin and bring in Gabriel. Now, for the 5 million price bracket, besides Estepinian, I think he's the best defender to go for. You know, Arsenal have very good set-piece routines, and Gabriel has by far the best defensive numbers in terms of attacking stats in that Arsenal team, and all those set pieces are going to be aimed squarely at his head. So I believe if you're not tripling up on the Arsenal attack, I believe Gabriel is an absolute must. You have to have him. There's just no way you can get away not having him. And then we've got Luke Shaw. Now, Luke Shaw is somebody who was extremely template during the middle of pre-season, but he's kind of fallen out of favour with a lot of managers, and I can understand why when you don't have a very strong bench option. But as you can see, I've got Ben Chilwell on the bench with him, so those two rotate quite nicely for quite a while. So obviously, Luke Shaw, he's got Wolves at home to start the season with, and Wolves, they weren't a particularly good team last season. Their attacking numbers weren't great, and now they've went and dropped their manager. I don't see a world in which Wolves score in that game, so why wouldn't you want to capitalise on the Man United attack? And when you're not starting the season with Onana, who he was in consideration for me, I just think you have to capitalise on that clean sheet there, because I believe it's like a 70-80% chance it's going to be a clean sheet. So why wouldn't you start the season with Luke Shaw? And then as you can see with Chilwell, he's the more template option, but I wouldn't want to start him for the Liverpool at home game. He might get an attacking return, there's the odd chance there, but really you want to combine that with a clean sheet, and we all know those games there's not going to be a clean sheet there. It's probably going to be a 4-3 in favour of Liverpool or something like that. So I've got those two there, you can see with the fixture. So I won't start Luke Shaw against Tottenham, I'll bring in Ben Chilwell, and then I'll probably start both of them in game week 3, because obviously Luke Shaw has Forest at home and Chilwell has Luton at home, so we're hoping to get some mega scores, some hopefully double-digit defensive returns there. And then there's Estepinian. So again, an extremely template pick for 5 million. Why wouldn't you have him? You know, there's not really much that needs to be said. He's super attacking wing back for Brighton. Brighton have Luton at home. This man could easily get a clean sheet and 2 attacking returns in that game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe 12, 13, 14 pointer, you know, something like that. But he's not really going to get your many rank returns because everybody's going to have him. Anybody who knows what they're doing anyway is going to have him. So, yeah, he just kind of needs to be there for a while, and we'll keep him for the first couple of fixtures and see how it goes. And then, like I say, the last defensive option is just Baldock on the bench, purely because he's a playing £4 million defender with alright fixtures. So, there might be some attacking returns for him, but nah, I'm never really going to play him. So, cheap and cheerful, what more do you want? So the main change of defence from the pre-season draft is obviously I'm not starting the season with Trent. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One of them is just Liverpool look awful defensively. There's absolutely going to be no chance at a clean sheet against any of the decent teams. So when you got Trent, you want to combine his attack and returns, his goals, his assists with the clean sheet, and then he's pretty much guaranteed 3 bonus, and you're getting 15, 16, 17 points every week from him. But that was the past. That was back when Liverpool actually had a decent defence and could keep the ball out of the back of their own net. But this is a new Liverpool where that doesn't seem to be the case. So in pre-season, Trent's been lining up as either a 6 or he's going in the inverted fullback role. And it's just leaving massive gaps open in their defensive third, and good teams are just going to run through them, and they're going to get caught on the counter-attack time after time. I think it's going to be painfully obvious when they play Chelsea. So for the £8 million price tag, I can't justify that on a defender who, yes, he's going to get attacking returns. That's just going to be inevitable, but you combine an attacking return without a clean sheet, you're probably only going to look at 5 points. So you're spending all that money when you could just get a defender from a different team with better fixtures, a better defensive structure for, £3 million less. So yeah, I can't justify the money on Trent, so he's not going to be in my team for the start of the season. So moving on into midfield, kind of looks the same from pre-season. The only real change is with the money I've saved from not having Trent in the team, I've managed to upgrade Julio Enciso up to Bruno Fernandes, and I feel that has just made this midfield so much stronger. Honestly, I can't see a weakness in this team. The only slight question mark that I have is going to be Mitoma, seeing how he lines up with Brighton, because obviously Brighton have signed about 50 million new players who can all play in every position in attack, so who knows how they're going to line up, and I'm just hoping that I've got the right combination of Brighton assets. But like I say, Bukayo Saka, he was my captain in pre-season, who I was going to start the season with, but I've kind of got a little bit of cold feet on that, to be honest. It's basically because he hasn't had the greatest of pre-seasons. He hasn't set the world on fire, and I think there'll be attacking returns, don't get us wrong, there might not be as many as I'm hoping for. I don't really know who's going to be the main goal scorer for this Arsenal team. Like I said, last season it was between Saka and Martinelli. Is it going to be the same, or is Nketiah going to come in? This could be his breakout season. Could Trossard come in to play that number 9 role now? Could this be the season he sets the world on fire? I just don't know. So like I say, I'm hoping to just get goal and assist from Saka in game week 1. That'll do me proud, and hopefully the same from Martinelli. I think if he continues his form in from the previous season, he'll be perfectly fine. I'm perfectly happy to spend 8 million on him, and if it doesn't go well, he's at that price point where I can easily swap him out to somebody else. Let's say a Richarlison or James Maddison sets the world on fire, because obviously we've had the news today that Kane is leaving Tottenham Hotspur if Daniel Levy will let him. So I believe Kane's at the airport when I'm recording this video. So who knows what's happening there? All that's for certain is Kane looks like he's leaving. And then obviously captain armband is on Marcus Rashford, and again that's going to go back to kind of what I said about Luke Shaw, with the fact that Wolves look in complete disarray at the moment. So Wolves historically were a good defensive team under previous managers, but under Lopetegui they just weren't really that consistent. And so you combine a leaky defence with a toothless attack, then you've got a player like Marcus Rashford, who I believe scored 18 or 19 goals last season. God, he's gonna haul. in this game. I can see it, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. He is going to be my captain in game week 1. I'm hoping he's going to absolutely get just bags of returns. I'm hoping for a 20-pointer from him without captain armband, and with a captain armband I'm hoping for 40 points. So I'm truly putting my money where my mouth is on this one. And then we've got Matoma. Like I say, I'm pretty sure he'll start game week 1. Pretty sure he'll start the Luton game, and that's what I really want, to be honest, from him. From a 6.5 midfielder, I'll be happy with a goal and an assist, or 2 assists, something like that. Just as long as I get attacking returns from 6.5, you can't really go wrong. Like I say, I don't know how Luton is going to handle versus Premier League opposition for the first time, so we'll have to see how that goes for them. And then obviously you've got the main man himself, Bruno Fernandes. Now this guy, he's going to be just pinging balls across to Marcus Rashford all day. So like I said, I don't really need to say much about Bruno Fernandes. He was brilliant last season, even though he underperformed so much on his data. So hopefully he can actually get some returns to reflect his XG and XA that he had. He's going to be the penalty taker for Man United. So what more can you want? And like I say, I just don't see any weaknesses in this midfield really, besides Matoma. But out of 10, Matoma's probably like a 7.5. So yeah, brilliant. I'm chuffed a bit with this midfield. And then we're on to the forwards. Now this is the only position where I'm kind of a little bit like in the team. So obviously we'll talk about the elephant in the room, which is João Pedro. So in pre-season he looked good. The only problem is, will he start? Now personally I believe he will, just based on the fact that he can play pretty much anywhere in that front line, as I suppose so can all of the Brighton players, but he's very flexible. He's got bags of potential, to be honest with you. I know Newcastle tried to sign him last season, which I'm really disappointed that they didn't, because he'd look really good at Watford. So he's going to be on penalties. Got the number 9 on the back of his shirt. How much did he cost? £30 million they brought him in for. So I think he has to start, especially with it being a home fixture. I believe he's going to be showing off to the fans. Brighton's record signing, I think the stars are aligned for him to start. And I think he'll probably line up behind either Welbeck or Ferguson. He'll probably play behind the striker, more of a number 10 rolled in, straight out and out forward that he is. Even though he does have the number 9 on his back, I think he'll start a little bit deeper. So this boy can haul in this game if he starts, which I do believe he will. So he's cheap enough, only 5.5 million, and like I say, if it goes wrong, I've got cover and Ben Chilwell on the bench, but I'm hoping it doesn't, so he can make a mockery of that price tag, to be perfectly honest. So I'm happy to start the season with him. And then Erling Haaland, vice captain armband. So some of you might be thinking I'm absolutely mental for not captain Erling Haaland in game week 1, and that's fair enough. He is versus Burnley away, but with Erling Haaland, pre-season hasn't been good. I believe he's only scored 1 or 2 goals, and he hasn't really looked like the Erling Haaland of last season, scoring hat-tricks for fun. So I don't know. Man City normally start off slow, and they're never really that particularly ruthless away from home. So I'm not feeling this, to be honest. I know I'm not the only one who's not feeling it. Yes, I'm going to own him. So in case he does haul, then at least I've got half of his points. But like I say, it could be a decent way to get ahead of the pack, not captain Erling Haaland. But we'll see tonight. I might be watching the game from behind me settee. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, he's there. He's if he doesn't work out, for 14 million, for me, he's gonna have to be like the out-and-out best player in FPL for the whole season for me to own him. So with these easy opening fixtures, if he starts slow, I might bin him. I'm not gonna lie, I might bin him and bring in maybe Salah or somebody. Obviously, Kane will be his direct replacement, but Kane looks like he's off to Munich to go drink beer with the Germans. So we'll see. We can only wait and see. So we'll briefly just cover the bench as well, just to talk about the players that we haven't really talked about so far. Hennessy is currently a placeholder for Turner when FPL Towers decide that, he actually has moved to Nottingham Forest. So like you say, as soon as that move is announced, then we'll stick him in the team. Hopefully it is before the deadline. If not, I'll just go for Virginia, which is kind of Everton's number 2. So in case there's some weird alternate universe where Pickford doesn't play, at least I've got the Everton number 2 there as well. And obviously we've touched on Chilwell, we've touched on Baldock, and then we've just got Mubama there. Now, I was quite looking forward to him starting the season, but after looking at some more of the data and looking at some of the West Ham fans on Twitter, they're not too confident that he's going to be starting all too many games. And he is currently the highest owned £4.5 million player in FPL at the minute. And for those of you who have played FPL for a couple of years, you know that that's just a massive red flag. You do not want to be owning the number 1 owned defender, number 1 owned 4.5 million forward, and the number 1 owned 4 million goalkeeper, because if they don't start, you are going to drop team value like a stone when all of the randoms and casuals think, oh, this player's not playing, let's transfer him out. So a little bit of a word of warning, if like you say, Mubama, if he's not going to line up for West Ham, I don't get any encouraging news, then he's just going to transfer out of my team. I can't remember who the name of the starting 4.5 million forward from Luton, I think, is it Ulsa or somebody like that? He'll probably be the one that comes in and replaces Mubama. And like I say, if any of you guys have still got Areola, drop him as soon as you can, because it doesn't look like he's going to start for West Ham either. So like I say, just choose a random 4 million goalkeeper. Make sure you don't ruin your team value at the start of the season. So yeah, that's going to be how I'm lining up for game week 1. So as you can see, I've got 2 million left in the bank. That's basically because I'm looking to be extremely flexible and also be rather aggressive in my transfers in game week 3. So game week 3, we're going to be either looking at Reece James, see how he's doing, because obviously Chelsea have that lovely fixture swing. We're going to try and capitalise on that as much as we can. And also Spurs have a nice little fixture swing. So with that money in the bank, I could quite easily change Estepinian up to Reece James in game week 3, and also swap Mitoma for Maddison in game week 3 as well. So like I say, I'm not planning on making a transfer in game week 2. I'm hoping to go into game week 3 with 2 free transfers. I'm not looking to take a -4 unless I absolutely have to, but like I say, I'm looking to go full flexible at the start of the season and just kind of jump on anybody who I think's gonna get me the most points. So yeah, that's how we're lining up, ladies and gentlemen. So remember guys as well, we are hosting our own mini league over on FPL for this season. Now, if we hit over 100 subscribers by the end of game week 38, there'll be some nice cash prizes in there for first, second and third place. Now, I'm not going to put pen to paper and tell you what the amount is going to be yet, because it's going to be dependent on how many subscribers we get. So if we get 100, it'll be an alright prize. If you get 200 subscribers, it might be something better. If you can hit over 300 subscribers, it'll be pretty juicy. So like I say guys, be on the lookout for that. I'll leave the link to the league in the description below. I hope to see you on there as well. Yes, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for watching the end of the video. It really does mean a lot that you've stuck around with this long and you made it all the way to the end. So hopefully that means you find me at least somewhat entertaining. If you do, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button as well. And also, if you enjoyed the video, just hit that like button as well. You know, it gives me feedback on what I'm doing is actually working, and you guys would like to see it. And like I say, if you could drop in the comment section below what you think of the team, what changes you made, maybe what team you're starting game week 1 with, I'll be active down in the comment section down there as well. So like I say guys, we're just I'd love to hear from you, love to get some interaction going. And I also do appreciate the fact that this video is probably going to go live very close to the deadline, albeit probably within an hour of the deadline, and that's mainly because I've been mega busy with work and just social things, and I've never really had time to actually sit down and probably record this video. But hope you can appreciate the fact that this is a little bit of a rush job, so it's kind of a short video, but like I say, there'll be more effort going into the videos going forward, so there's at least going to be a video every week in FPL, so make sure you guys are sticking around for that. And yep, I hope to see you guys in the future. So thank you very much, boys and girls. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and peace.